It says I'm live. Yes, start. You can start. You can start. Hello, Behi. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, it says, Mom, how are you? Hi, dear Sparkles. You're all welcome. Oi says, Mommy, hi, Zoise. Hi, Lagos housewife. Hi, dearie. Hello, hello. Excellent, excellent. Say hello to Oyster for me. Hello, everyone. You're all welcome. Rafuka, thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening, good evening. You're all welcome to this episode of Momversations. How are we all doing? Hi, Bacon Nanny. Hi, 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 hi. How are we all doing? It's so nice to have you all here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Nalonline. Thank you, thank you. Hi, hi. Lagos housewife, Rayo. Hi, hi. Please make a request. Hello, hello. Nice to see you all. Make a request, please, Rayo. You're all welcome to today's episode of Momversations. Hi, Oye Bingpe. Can you see my earrings? Hi, hi, hi. You're all welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Hi, hi, Olukem. Hi, 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 hi. I'm so happy to have you all here this evening. Thank you. My name is Funmi Gombe. For those who do not know, let me introduce myself. I'm also known as the Chief Nanny, aka the Event Nanny, aka Chief Nanny. Excellent, excellent. It's good to know that you're all doing good. And how is your Sunday? I'm so glad that you're all joining us this evening for another episode of Momversations. And as you all know, the family, okay, let me, Lagos housewife has sent a request, so let me go. Thank you, Oyebingpe. Thank you. Hi, Fane. Lagos housewife, I'm waiting for you to connect. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm very well, thank you. It's so nice to see you. How's everything?
We're fine. Thank God.
How's Bongolo? And
He's fine, oh. And Daddy Kokolo.
Excellent. It's so nice to have you on this evening. I'm so glad that you accepted to be our guest this evening. So for those of you who I was just talking about Momversations. So Momversations, you all know that the family is the bedrock of any society. And at Momversations, our goal is to create a community of women where we come and we gist, we talk, and we talk about any topic at all regarding raising a wholesome family, regarding raising wholesome children, regarding having a wholesome home, regarding, so it's not only about moms. Like last week we had dad's edition, but Momversations is really more about mom to mom gist, So you're all welcome. And today we have the pleasure of having Rayo with us,
Thank
popularly
you.
known as Lagos housewife. In fact, Rayo, I was telling you earlier, so when I stumbled on your page, I was like, wow, that's really awesome. Someone who's proud, who is owning that, you know, that platform of saying that, you know what, I'm a housewife and I am super, super proud of it. And you know, you've I don't know, in fact, you've demystified, you know, what the
Yes.
housewife, you know, is all about. And I'm so glad you agreed to come this evening. Why? Because a lot of people, some people actually, you know, they probably look down on housewives. They're like,
Yeah.
be a stay-at-home mom. Why should I be a stay-at-home mom? When I went to the university, I went to study, I spent 4 years in the university to study so and so. You know, they had their dreams and aspirations and all. But you know what? Being a stay-at-home mom also is not exactly very easy. Like I put in my book, I have a newfound respect for stay-at-home moms, and I have a newfound respect for teachers, especially, you know. So without further ado, let me quickly, for those of you who do not know who Rayo is,
Naku Havel.
So Rayo, let me just do a short introduction of who Rayo is. So Rayo, Ahem Mokai. Rayo, you're
Yes.
Edo, right?
My husband is Edo.
Your husband is Edo, and you are from
Kogi State.
Kogi. Okay, nice. So what part of Edo is your husband? You know my mom is Edo.
Oh, he's all one.
He's not one. Please tell him Bodia here for me.
He's already nodding.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So Rayo Ahemuka is a professional housewife.
Yes.
Professional housewife. Can you imagine? And is the face of Lagos Housewife brand. She's a graduate of English language from the University of Ilorin. Rayo made the choice to be a stay-at-home mom even before marriage.
Yes.
She started Lagos Housewife as an Instagram account to show women how to pack school lunch for their children. And it quickly expanded into a gathering center for women, wives and mothers everywhere, to learn everything from cooking healthy and delicious meals for their families to raising wholesome children, enjoying their marriages, and how to successfully run their homes and businesses. From little beginnings, Lagos Housewife has become an influencer brand, absolutely, to be reckoned with. Thank you, Lagos Housewife. So we are honored to have you with us. You know, she has 4 recipe ebooks published for sale to help mothers and families eat healthier varieties. You know, so she has 4 books, ebooks: the school lunch menu, the Christmas recipe, anybody can bake, and cooking hangouts. Fantastic. You know, I bought your the school lunch and menu 2 years ago, and I won't lie to you, that was a lifesaver, because I'm one of those mothers, you know, we just run into one eatery, we quickly grab a snack.
I can understand.
I mean, if we're talking about raising wholesome children, we also want them to eat healthy, you know, and that's part of raising. So Rayo, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So tell us who Rayo is, apart from what I have read about Rayo. So tell us, you know, just talk about yourself. It's conversation. It's meant to be light. It's meant to be airy. So tell us about yourself again, Rayo.
You know, the funny thing is, when people tell me to tell them about myself, I never know what to say. I'll be like, okay, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a sister.
Okay, so
kind of like,
let me start by, you said that you already made that decision to be a housewife. Hi, Efe, to be a housewife even before you got married.
Yes.
Hi, Olga.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, are you saying that you never worked at all? Even when, I mean,
oh, actually, I did. I worked when I did my NYC in Abuja. I was retained, and I worked there for 4 years before leaving. So that was the only place I worked. That was I worked in Transcorp Hilton Hotel, the guest services department. Yes.
Okay. So tell me, why did you make that decision? You know, not to go into paid employment, not to go into the corporate world, but rather that you'd rather be a stay-at-home mom?
Okay, I guess I'm someone, I got to know who I am from an early age. I have very strong persuasions about myself. So it was easy for me to know this is not the life I'm cut out for. This is not what I this is not what I want for myself and all that. So I think it actually came from knowing my personality, the person I am and all that. I don't do well with routine. I don't do well with routine. I'm more of someone who I can wake up 2 a.m. and work till 6 a.m. and then I want to sleep and sleep till like 11, 12. You understand? So it just wasn't me cut out. And when I was working in Hilton, thankfully, it was not a rigid, because we worked shifts. So it kind of flowed with my personality and all that. But after a time, I just knew it was time to leave. I've exhausted my working years. It's time for me to leave. So it's just knowing myself, basically.
It was more about knowing yourself and knowing that, you know what, I would rather be on my own than be in a rigid environment. So did having building a home, had you met your husband as at that time?
No, at all. In fact, I started saying it from an early age. I think from the time I was like 11, 12, that I don't think I want to walk outside my home. And everybody, because my mom worked all her life, I had a grandmother who worked and everything. So it was like weird. Yes, deviating from the norm, and everybody would be like, oh, she's a child, she'll change her mind and all that. But it's not something I ever changed my mind. I stuck to it.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so but do you regret taking that decision at all? No.
No, at all. I've never regretted it.
Awesome. So your husband, okay, but how about your husband? I mean, when he met you, was he, okay, take for example, my own husband wants a career woman.
Yes.
I would not mind actually being a stay-at-home woman. That's for those who are very close to me, they know that I've always said, you know what, I wouldn't mind being a stay-at-home mom, you know, but he wants a career person, you know. And so, I mean, your husband, did he want a career woman, or he was okay with, you know what, you can stay at home and work from home?
He actually didn't mind. He was neutral when I told him, you know, when things started getting serious between us, and I was like, I'm not going to ever walk outside the home and all that. And he was like, oh, okay. He's also someone who is a homebody, so we kind of like match.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So it was a good match then. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so tell me, you know, you have a story you want to tell me about Andrew.
Yes.
Would you like to tell me it?
No problem. Andrew was a much sought for child. Okay, like I told you in one of our conversations, my own issues with fertility was not so much not being able to conceive, it was actually early miscarriages. You get that's the issue. So get pregnant, miscarriage, get pregnant, miscarriage, and it got to a point I was kind of like wondering, and it's unexplained actually. Unexplained, no reason, no physical or hormonal reason why that should be happening. So when it happened and happened and happened, it got to a point, I think it was we were entering 2012, crossover service and everything, and we attended Living Faith church. And that was the single prayer request I took there, you understand? And I was like, God, please just let me have a child of my own and all that. And I promise I'll testify. And unfortunately, I've testified in every other place but Living Faith. You guys, I have not gone back to testify there, though I've talked about it everywhere else and everything. So I think that's still something I'm owing God. But yes, but yeah, it wasn't an easy journey, because, you know, sometimes I'll be like, oh, even if it's that I wasn't able to get pregnant, I could understand, as in, okay, yes, we'll say, okay, she's not able to get pregnant. How do you deal with incessant miscarriages again and again, with all the pain, with with all the hope, with all the, oh, this one will be different, this one will be different, this one, and then the same thing happens. In fact, when I was pregnant with Andrew, I literally lived in my bathroom because I was constantly going to check that, am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Throughout first semester, trimester, I cramped all through. So it was more of like, am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Till one day, for the first time ever, I crossed into the 4 months mark, and I was like, is this really happening? The first time ever. So it's a roller coaster, very emotionally draining, extremely draining.
Yeah. I can
Yes.
imagine. You know, I had a stint of waiting as well for about 4 years. So I totally understand where you're coming from. I had only one miscarriage though, you know, but I mean, for someone to have constant miscarriages, I mean, I can only imagine what you must have gone through. So as I was telling you earlier on, you know, some stay-at-home moms. Now, being a stay-at-home mom, at least because I know that you do something with Lagos Housewife. But prior to Lagos Housewife, were you just strictly, you know, were you doing anything? Were you working? I mean, from home, were you doing any
Yeah.
business? Or you were just, you know, just taking care of Daddy Konkolo, making sure that he was fully him when he comes back, putting the water in the bathroom for him, you know. So tell us, you know, tell us what you do as a typical housewife, as a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. Initially, when we just got married, we started a family business. We're into web design and things like that. And because I'm always been someone who I'm good with customer services and everything, I was like always I'm the one reaching out to get customers and all that online. Basically, what I do online now, that's what I was doing then. After a while, the company stabilized and everything. It was practically running without me. You get, so I was more.
That's really a business that runs without you, because if you can't, if you don't run, if you have a business that cannot run on its own, then
Yes, yes. So I was more of like, I didn't really have anything to do, and I was taking care. By that time, I already had my son. I was taking care of him and things like that. That was like a full-time job then. But you know, it got to a point when uh, I felt bored. I felt restless. I needed something to do. You get it was, and I kept thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And all that. And then I went to church one day, and they announced that they were having a training, a free training, vocational training.
okay,
And I was like, okay, let me do this. What are my options? And they said baking. They had baking, they had tailoring, they had this one. I was like, okay, let me try baking. I've never baked before and all that. So I joined and I learned how to bake, and I fell in love with baking. So I started baking from home, and that was how my baking business took off. That was actually what I first started my Instagram page with.
oh
It was
really?
cakes. Yes, it was cakes I was posting and everything like that. But then my son now started school, and in between, you know, those days when you don't have orders and you don't have cakes to post, I'll just like post off his school lunch, and that was actually something I was very interested in. So I'll pack his school lunch and I'll just post the picture. And that was what generated a lot of interest. And mothers were like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And someone asked, can you like make a meal plan for me for my son's school lunch? I was like, okay, no problem. And I drew up a 2 weeks meal plan for her, and I sent it to her. My husband saw it and was like, why don't you do a full month with the recipes you make? Write out the recipes and sell it. And I was first like, who will buy it? Why would anybody buy that? It's easy. And he said, someone asked for it, so it's actually needed. And I was
Needed.
like, but that's a lot of stress. He was like, you can do it. And somehow it took off from there. And in fact, writing it was not fun because, you know, I was typing on my laptop. I had actually started writing the recipes and everything. And then Andrew peed on my laptop.
Oh my goodness.
And I lost everything, as in the memory just went zilch.
Oh my
And at
day.
that point, I could have given up, but my husband was like, "No, you are going to do this." And at that time, because nothing was coming in from me, it was only from his own side and all that. So we didn't really have money. I could not afford to just buy another laptop and everything. So I was almost ready to give up. And he was using his laptop for work, so he couldn't leave it with me at home. But he was like encouraging me. So in case people are not aware, that whole school lunch was typed on a Nokia phone.
Are you for real?
I typed it on my Nokia phone, and it wasn't even a big Nokia phone. It was all this like, it was stressful, but looking back, it was totally worth it. And
Worth it. Exactly.
yes,
It was worth
I
it.
typed.
Oh, awesome, awesome. For those who are just joining in, so we have Rayo. Rayo is popularly known as Lagos housewife, and we just want to hear her story about why she chose to become a stay-at-home mom. In fact, let me quickly read something that I have in front of me here, Rayo. It says, "Who is a stay-at-home mom? A basic definition of a stay-at-home mom is someone who stays home to raise her children and manage her household. She may have one child or several children, and they can range in ages from newborn all the way up to teenagers. However, the modern day definition of a stay-at-home mom is someone who may or may not have left the workforce to stay at home and raise her children. She may be highly educated and left a six-figure job to stay at home. She may also be planning on returning to work. I know Rayo is not planning to do. Rayo
At all.
she's okay, before entering the workforce back, But tell me, Andrew, do you feel that your staying at home, has been good for Andrew and even Daddy Kunkulu, as it were?
Yes, it has. It has. We do practical. Well, yeah, we do practically everything together. But it's almost there's that tendency for them to expect you to be at home 247. I mean,
Yeah.
last year I had quite a number of things I had to do, a speaking assignments out of the home and everything. And it got to a point, Andrew will come back from school and I'll not be at home and everything. And it kind of agitated him at one point, and he was like, "Why are you not at home? Why? Where are you always going? Why are you not?" And if he wakes up in the morning dressing for school, and he'll be like, "Are you going out again?"
So how did you balance, have a conversation with him?
Yes, and letting him understand that the fact that I stay at home, that is not what all women do. That is not all what mothers do. There are many people who don't stay at home, and letting him to understand that that is perfectly okay. Not everybody is cut out for this life and everything. So I've had to be more deliberate in helping him to understand that the fact that you see me at home 247 doesn't mean you are going to have a wife who will do that.
Okay, so tell me, what's your parenting style like with Andrew?
Oh, I'm more of the we talk. We talk. In fact, I play with him. I play with him a lot. In fact, there was a day I put up a post where I was saying it's not his fault, and people were laughing at him. Sometimes, even when he wants to be serious, like, I'm a very playful person. I joke with him and everything. And one day he just looked at me and said, "Mommy, you play too much." But he also understands that when my eyes go, okay, it's time for him to behave and everything. But I think my parenting style was defined around his personality. Before, normally the mindset is, oh, when children do this, you spank them, spank their hands, spank their bum and all that. But I discovered with him, it wasn't necessary. He's a child who you can talk to. He listens and he understands. You get. I discovered that spanking him and everything, the moment I'm like, "What did you do?" as in when he was younger, and a small thing, if I spank him or hit him, it now got to a point that if he does something wrong and I'm like, what did you do? He will immediately shift back as if expecting to be spanked. And that really hurts me, and I realized that you can't continue like this. Even if that's the way you were raised, there has to be a better way of doing things and all that. That doesn't scare your son, that doesn't make him expect to be hit or spanked when he does something wrong. So I worked on myself. I stopped that. I don't beat him, not anymore. I can't remember when last I touched him or anything, but my husband still spanks him once in a while. I don't mind that because my husband is more deliberate with his spanking than I was. I could just react and do stop that. Before my husband would touch him, my husband would sit him down and say, you did this, you did this. That is why I'm going to do this. So you get, and that's really once in a while. Most times we give him things like, oh, we ground you, you can't touch your tablets within so time, or you serve punishment. In fact, 2 days ago, I was making fun of him. I said, now, wow, children of nowadays, he did something and my husband told him to kneel down and raise up his hand. And he did that for 4 minutes. And then my husband told him to stand up. And he came to me and he was like, my hand is paining me. Help me massage it. And I was like, 4 minutes, Andrew, 4 minutes.
Oh, my face. Okay.
So we're more talk to him and everything. And
like you said, your parenting style is around his personality. I think that's a very good. I want to ask you, Rayo, even though I know that it's a deliberate choice for you to stay at home, for you to be a home maker, and thankfully you're also doing business. So, some people think that staying at home means, oh, I do nothing. All I'm doing is just, I'm taking care of my children, I'm taking care of my husband, and then you're doing nothing. However, you're doing your own fair share. You have a business, you have something that's bringing in some kind of income, to the family. However, do you at any point in time ever feel like you're not fulfilled? Maybe when you're with maybe a circle of friends that they are, maybe you hear that they're now managers in some multinational, or you see them come up, they're working in their when you meet them, maybe when you meet up for lunch or you meet up for drinks. I don't know if you do that. Do you get intimidated by your friends that are career women? Do you get depressed? No,
at all. It has never happened. I'm extremely fulfilled. You understand? I am doing what I love, and it's impacting lives. That to me matters more than anything else. So I don't even think of it. It doesn't occur to me. Well, I'm more concerned with my friends. Are you doing what you love? If they are, good, we're perfect. Everybody has different aspirations. What matters is what you're doing, you love it. The fact that you get up, you're a manager every day, you find fulfillment in that matters to me. Yes.
Excellent. So finding fulfillment in whatever choice you take, if you want to be a career woman or if you want to be a stay-at-home mom. So I'm happy that you said that, you don't, because I am aware that there's some women who, you have a lot of fans, so everybody's been saying, so I'm sure, Rayo, please say, greet them, tell them that you love them, but everybody has been saying, our favorite Rayo.
Sorry, don't mind. I didn't want to interrupt her. That's why I was going. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't worry, I'll greet you all.
Okay, so Rayo is saying hello right back. Rayo is high-fiving you all right back. Hi, Boozy. So some people are, they find they're not exactly very fulfilled because, and some it's a deliberate action, it's a deliberate choice like you have made, but some have found themselves in this position not because they really want to be. Yes, not by choice, so maybe their husbands have insisted that they stay at home, maybe they're or maybe they have to be at home because they have to take care of a child who requires special attention.
Yes.
you have that as well, you know. So, but in all of this, I want you to, you know, just say a word of encouragement to mothers who, like what you just said now, you know, find fulfillment in your being at home, you know, you being able to have being able to raise wholesome children and being able to be a
Yes.
homemaker. Please, a word of advice.
Okay,
Right.
whatever your reason for staying at home, can I let you know that your sacrifice matters? My
Mm.
mom, my mom worked for, she was a medical person. She worked for 35 years. And after retiring, she also set up her own private practice. Again, you understand. I'm sure she helped so many people medically and all that. But when it comes down to it, I remember as my mother, the values she instilled in me, they are the things that keep us going. Myself and my siblings, we are like this. When
Excellent.
my mom, when my mom passed, it was as if our center was shaking. I told my husband, I said, I feel as if I've been stripped naked. As if, I said, I feel as if something covering me has been yanked off. Why am I telling you this? That's what you are to your children. Nothing can take that away.
Mm.
It's worth it. Years from now, that is what will hold them. No
Mm.
matter the sacrifice. You know, I tell people, I said, you see on my bio, there's description, Jesus, family, food, business. That's actually the order of hierarchy. If I have to drop anything out of the four, I'll drop business. Straight. I will stop doing Lagos housewife instantly. Because you know why? Yes, I'm impacting lives, but I believe my first impact should be my family. If people will
Absolutely.
say, you changed my life, and my son is saying, I don't have a relationship with my mother, to me, that's a failure. I
Mm.
failed. And I always tell people, I said, here's the thing. You cannot take your money. For those who are not Christians, please excuse me, I am a Christian, so I always put it like this. You cannot take your money to heaven, but you can take your children. So you ask
Absolutely.
yourself, what is the priority? When you think of the fact that these children, your family is the priority. One of my pastors always says that something, if you fail at anything, please don't fail at family.
Family. Mm. Mm.
Don't fail at family. So can I tell you, your sacrifice is worth it. You might not see it now. It can be wearing, it can be tiring when you feel other people are progressing and you are left behind. But it's worth it. I wish I can tell you how much it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. No matter how busy my mom was, that's to encourage career women too. I told you just now, my mom was a career woman. She worked 35 years. But at no point did she never have time for us. She was our mom first before any other thing. Before any other thing. So it's priority. Prioritize it. And a time will come when these children will not be so dependent on you. At that time, you can find your path. But by that time, you would have forged a relationship that will last despite distance. If I tell you the relationship I have with my siblings, we speak every single day.
Mm.
Who made that possible? My mother. The relationship I have with my dad, you know who made that possible? My mother. Because she brought all of us together. She made us a family. There was no separation. There was no nothing. Because she was there. No, it's not about the fact that she was working. She was there. She was there. In fact, my dad used to tease me when she was alive. My dad would say, the amount of money you and your mother spend on calls is enough to establish your own telecommunication satellite. And we'll be laughing. You understand? But she's gone now. But you know the family is still like this. Because
Together.
that's legacy she left. I know families that even their mother is still alive, they hardly talk to each other. The siblings hardly talk to each other. I speak with my siblings every time. My husband and my immediate younger brother, they are like this. In fact, there was a day he called me, my brother. As he called me, I was just like, okay, hold on. It was not like, I can't talk to you again. Is it only your husband I'll talk to? I'll say, when you've abandoned me, it's him you call 247 now. But relationships like that don't just happen. They are consciously and deliberately forged. That is the sacrifice you are making now. That is the sacrifice you are making now. And it is worth it. It is worth it. And another thing I will tell you, please take care of yourself. When the children no longer need you, you have to be alive and in good health to now be able to follow your passion. Please do all you can to stay alive. I remember last year when I was so ill. I was extremely ill. It got to a point that even living from 1 hour to the other, I was like, God, do I really want to do this and everything? And I could, it was so long, I could not even foresee hope anymore. And one of my closest friends told me something. She said, stop, don't think about the future. Just think of the fact that whatever I have to do to stay alive for the next 30 minutes, do it. One step at a time, do it. Because she knew how overwhelmed I was with the health issues. She said, just don't think further than 30 minutes ahead. Just think, what do I need to do? Do I need to take my drugs now? Take it. Do I need to try and sleep now? Sleep now. Don't think ahead. Said, just stay alive for the next 30 minutes. Each 30 minutes you stay alive, they will add up. And when the sun finally broke, I'm here today, am I not?
Yes, you are.
And I'm fine. I'm in good health. Sometimes I just stand and I breathe and I'll be like, it's so good to be healthy. It's so good to be healthy. Please stay alive. Take care of yourself. If you have to sleep, sleep. Don't think of, oh, my life is like this and everything. Let me encourage you, for those who are Christians. There's something in the Bible that is called restoration. You know what God promises? He said, I will restore the years. I will restore the years. Do you know one thing I've noticed with God? There is nothing you sacrifice that you don't get back. There is nothing you sacrifice that you do not get back. You think you're giving up your career years now. It takes God less than 1 year to bring it all back. Now, when you make that sacrifice for your children, you stay at home 10, 15, 18 years. Then you start from the beginning. You think you're starting from the beginning. And your first 3 months at work, your boss takes an interest in you and decides all the trainings, you'll be the one to go for it. And in 1 year, you've covered enough trainings to be a manager. And then you become a manager. Do you know what that is called? It's called restoration. There is no sacrifice you make with God that he doesn't repay. He owes no man. He owes no man. I have seen it happen in my life. Again, I have seen it happen in people's lives. He is a God of restoration. Don't think of what you are losing. Think of what you are planting right now that you will reap in the future. So let that encourage you.
Planting. Are you done? You're wrong. You're not. No. No. Think of what you're planting. Don't think of what you're losing. You know what you just said, Rayo. Let me tell you who you actually just described. My aunt. She actually logged on now. My maternal aunt, and yes, I have always admired her parenting skills. Just this morning, I actually asked her if she would come on, you know. Oh, people say, so sorry you went through all that, Rayo. God be praised.
Thank you. Yes,
You
thank
know,
you.
and let me tell you what she did. She has 3 children. She stopped her career. She stayed at home. She built her children. She raised her children. If there's anybody's parenting style that I admire the most in the whole wide world, it is my aunt. And I never, cease to. Funmi, stop writing. That was so funny. I had to be adjusting on what she was saying now. I so totally admire her parenting, hers and her husband's. And if you see the children today, you see what you just said, it's a sacrifice. And what are we sacrificing? You're sacrificing your time. You're sacrificing, and what are you doing? You're building wholesome children who will in turn become balanced adults in the society, responsible people of the society. Remember that the family is the bedrock of the society, and that is what you're doing. And yes, even though I have my friend who just said, Rayo, sorry, she's a Muslim, but she understands where we're coming from. She knows that we're Christians. The scripture says that a wise woman is the one that builds her home.
Her home,
So
yes.
if now we're not saying that you should for those who are working, take off work. No, you heard Rayo say just now, her mother was a full-time she was a career woman. She wasn't a stay-at-home mom, but yet she was a present mother. Despite the fact that she was a career woman, she was a present mother. She was desperate in raising her children. My aunt, like I said, she took time off work to raise her children, and then when the kids were no longer dependent on her, she now decided to go back to the workforce. And she's living her life. She's enjoying herself. The children are all adults now, But you know what? The bond has been formed. Responsible children. As in, Yorubas, we say, Omotopin Yogon. Those are the kind of children that I'm telling you. So thank you for all you've said. And I love the bit of restoration that even you might think that you're losing a lot, but you're not losing. You're not losing. What you're doing is you're sowing seeds. You're sowing seeds that will become, an oak tree tomorrow. And then later, and then by the time you decide that, even if you don't want to go back to the workforce and you're like Lagos mom, Lagos housewife here, who has a business and she's doing so well, raking in all the millions, even though she's just trying to, to cover for us right now. She's raking in all the millions, so don't be deceived at all. So thank you so much, Rayo. Does anybody have any questions for Rayo? Thank you, Rayo. They say uplifting words. Thank you, Rayo.
Thank you.
And I like the bit of taking care of yourself. We women. In fact, tell us, how did you take care of yourself, Rayo? Tell us what you did, step by step. What did you do? How did you take care of yourself?
Well, number one thing I started doing was sleeping well. And that my husband was really instrumental to that. I told you earlier, I said the kind of person I am, I can wake up at 2 and work till like 6. Now, with my son going to school, I would have had to continue from that 6 to prepare his school lunch, to prepare this, take him to school and everything before coming back home. And by then it will be time to come online, answer questions, put up posts, and I will not have time to sleep again. So one thing my husband did was, okay, when you do that work in the night and everything, by that 6 when you want to sleep, go to bed. I will handle his going to school in the morning. So he will dress him up, yes, take that and everything, take him to school. Then when I wake up, his school is not far from home. When I wake up, I just like pack his school lunch and go drop it for him in school, and then I come online. So first thing I did was I started sleeping. I wasn't someone who was having much time to sleep before, but I started sleeping well. Number 2, I started eating well. I was skilled in telling people, eat well, eat this and eat this. And by the time I do that, oh, it's 12 noon and I've not eaten in the day and I'm desperately hungry, and I just look, I pick up a donut and I'm like, okay, I've eaten. Okay, let me continue my work. That's bad. I began to be more deliberate in what I eat and all that. And then another thing, I spoke God's words into my life. I was constantly speaking the right words to myself. Instead of saying, I'm not feeling okay today, Nah, I stopped saying that. By his stripes I have been made whole. I serve the Lord my God, and he blesses my water and food and has taken sickness away from me. I repeat those things to myself. And yes, words work. Your words work and all that. And even on days that that time when I told you I was so ill that it was so distant, it actually got to a point where I was actually thinking, is it not just better to just go and meet Jesus and be free of all this and all that? It was that bad. I was really ill. It was terrible. It was terrible. But it got to a point, even as ill as I was, I would stand up and I would say, I choose life. I choose to live. Say, Jesus died for me to live. I will not abuse that grace. And I kept declaring it to myself. And I think it was when my mindset switched that I actually started seeing positive results. And even till now, I say it sometimes. I can just stand in the balcony and I'll just look up and I'll say, Jesus, I choose to live for you. You don't need me to die for you. You died for me, so I choose to live for you. It's something I'm constantly saying to myself. Exercise. Thank you. I exercise. My favorite exercise is dancing. I just put on praise music and I dance. Kill two stones with a bird. Praise God and shake your body. And so I do that a lot. And it's something we do as a family together, telling people to, oh, okay, let's come and exercise. They might be like, we don't want to exercise. But by the time you just put on music and I just go, I pull my husband and my son and I'll be like, oh yeah, let's praise God, yeah, Ikwe, and we start dancing, and before you know it, everybody's sweating with exercise for the day. Shake your body.
That's very good. We had a couple of questions come in. What's the time? Okay, good. There's still time. I like what, somebody has already summarized it. Rest, declarations, exercise, and affirmations. Yeah, declarations to yourself. Now, somebody said some people, it's not because they don't want to stay at home, but they have to work, maybe because, the financial burden of the family, they have to help out. We understand that. Like Mayo just rightly said, that her mom had to work, but she was deliberate about her being present as a mother. Her being present as a mother. So you can still pursue your career. You can be who you want to be. You can go to work and yet still be the mother that your children require you to be the homemaker. Now you said something, people think that because you're a housewife, so you don't need help. You don't need somebody, you don't need support. But you said something now about Daddy Konkolo helping you. He was a good source of support, a support system. So tell us, do you have, apart from Daddy Konkolo, do you have a nanny? Do you have house help? Do you have,
I have help. In fact, I always tell people, I said, I always tell people, I said, I am a very, how will I put it? I'm a very lazy housewife, in quotes. The only thing I love doing is cooking. Outside cooking, I don't do anything else. I don't wash, I don't clean, I don't mop, I don't do that. I have people who do that for me and all that. So please don't think you don't have. Of course, I do a lot of cooking, more cooking than most people, because I also cook for recipe. I also cook for to teach people. I hold cooking trainings and things like that. Yes, so it might be a whole lot more cooking, but it's something. Like yesterday, I had to shoot 4 recipe videos, and by the time I finished, I was telling my husband, I said, I feel as if somebody beats me. My whole body was aching me, and it was aching me so bad that I couldn't sleep well, because when I'm someone that when I'm extremely tired, I find it difficult to sleep. So yes, so I was just kind of like rolling from one side of the bed to the other, rolling till around 4 a.m. before I finally slept. So yes, there are days I work like that. So once I did that work yesterday, I know that today I'm not doing any work again. It's my husband that made, okay, we had leftover for breakfast. He made lunch, he made dinner. So I do have a lot of help.
Because you need
Yes.
you would definitely need that support. I mean, I'm seeing here that a stay-at-home mom, not only a stay-at-home mom, even a career woman. She's a nurse, she's a chauffeur, that's the driver, she's the chef, she's the
Yes.
cook, teacher, she's the playmate, she's the housekeeper, she's the laundry attendant, she's the accountant. You know, you are everything. You're wearing different hats. So yes, you
Yes.
know, if cooking is, I don't like cooking anyway. So I give you kudos. Well done, you know. Thank you so much, Rayo. Time is fast spent. I don't want it to be 1 hour on the dot, you know, so that
No
Instagram doesn't.
problem.
But it was such a pleasure speaking with you. And by what I mean, all the comments that have been coming up, people are blessed.
Yes.
They've been encouraged by what you have said.
Just
You know,
one word. Sorry. Let me give our our career mothers who, like someone was saying, she would like to be a stay-at-home mom, but she cannot afford to. That is a sacrifice you're making. You're actually sacrificing your desire for their financial stability. Please appreciate that sacrifice. Give yourself a thumbs up. It's not easy, because I can imagine the stress of waking up to go to work, especially if you live in this Lagos with the stress of traffic. That is also a sacrifice. That is what they need. And you still have to be their mother. So please appreciate yourself. It's not only by being a stay-at-home mom that is a sacrifice. Even working to make sure there is enough money for their needs is a sacrifice.
it's a huge sacrifice.
I can tell you, no matter how much I desire to work from home, if we're not financially capable of doing that, I will be working. I'll hate every minute of it, but I will do it. Because that's what we do as parents. We take care of our children.
Thank you so much. People have said, you know, they've been blessed, and they're praying for you that may the Lord elevate you. In fact, a friend of mine actually said that you are not a stay-at-home mom, or that you're a working from home mom. You know, and I mean, you've done so well. Well done. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm happy that, you know, as you said something, you found yourself, you knew what you wanted right from an early age. Not everybody, you know, is blessed to know what they really want from an early age, you know. So well done. Thank you so much. And yes, for those who are working mothers, it's a sacrifice you are also making for your children. Your children will appreciate you. Your family appreciates you for that. Well done. Thank you all. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
Regards to Daddy Konkolo. Tell him I said Bodia is, how are you? How do you say bye bye now?
Okimwe.
I said Okimwe.
Okimwe, no problem.
Thank you, Rayo. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Somebody say, let's go for the day that I came across Rayo. Wonderful time. God bless you all.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone that has logged on, thank you so much. The video, I mean the recording, the replay will be on our page, and I'll forward the link to you to Rayo if you want to, you know. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate you, every single mother, for the sacrifices that you are making to ensure that your home is thriving, your home is wholesome, and then at the end of the day, remember, the family is the bedrock of the society. So what you're doing is you're building a wholesome society. It starts with you. It starts with me. God bless you all. Thank you, Rayo.
Good night. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. God bless you.